Well, I just want to thank you very much for sending us to Dominica. There were worse places to go into December, but actually it was lovely to be able to just go and catch something of the heart of John and just to express that to Leroy as we went. This is Leroy. That was his wife, Agatha. Agatha died in 3rd of December 2021 from COVID. So obviously they'd been very much a team together, working together. And we went out there just to visit Leroy because obviously it was 2 years since her death. He was actually doing really well. He felt like he'd moved on and he had a new sense of looking for what God had for him next. So it was an exciting time to spend with him. Just so people don't know where Dominica is, it's not the Dominican Republic, it's Dominica. It's a tiny island in the Lesser Antilles. And it's actually only 28 miles from one end to the other. But it's because it's so mountainous, the roads are very narrow and very steep, lots of them. So it takes quite a while to get from one end to the other. We spent a lot of time with Leroy. He took us around the island, and that was one of the best bits in that we could spend time in the car chatting to him, getting to know him a lot more. And he himself said to me, he said, you know, I don't need to wait to go to heaven because he says I live in paradise. And actually, it is, you get rainbows everywhere because you get these showers and the sunshine. And so one of the trips, he took us up to Delice, which is where Sue went in 1988, and where I didn't go because I was ill at the airport. So it was quite nice to go and see that place again. It was also Christmas. There's some Caribbean Christmas decorations. I said to the waitress, is there snow in the Caribbean? She says, well, no, but there you go. One of the things that Mark prayed when we were being prayed for is that we would have obstacles and God would give us a way forwards on obstacles. And one of the little obstacles we had is Sue couldn't get into the bed in the hotel because it was too high. And she mentioned this to the cleaning lady, and she actually, next day, she turned up with a pair of steps so Sue could climb into bed, which are actually freshly painted, so they put them together, especially for them. So that was kind of an example of God's provision for, you know, in little things. And there were little things that could have gone wrong, but all the time, there was fulfillment of that word in seeing things work themselves out. But we did have to do some work. Leroy had me in 5 meetings. I had to preach 5 times in 6 days, which has actually got, to be honest, was quite a stretch. It's not something I'm doing all the time. And so having to prepare that and deliver that in the meeting. However, God just really helped us in doing that. Let's be with him on the stage. Now, one of the key things was on the Sunday. We went on the Sunday morning, and it's a sense where you felt that this is almost why God took us. Leroy has this thing of he likes to, when they're worshipping, everybody gets up and walks around the meeting. It's kind of a height of the way that they worship.
This is my confidence, you'll never fail me yet.
See how enthusiastic I am. Why that was significant, though, is that when we were walking around, God just really put something in my heart. I could see Leroy ahead of me. And I think this is the point about being sent, really, that you don't just go. I wasn't going, and we weren't just doing what John had told us to do. But God put something in our hearts ourselves. We catch something of that heart. So it isn't just, we're taking God's heart that's deposited in John for Leroy. And John deposited something in me as we were walking around that hall. And what happened was that I then just felt, I'd been speaking about prayer, and I thought it was really important that we should pray for Leroy. So I asked him if that's okay, and he said yes. So we brought him to the front of the meeting, and we prayed for him. And well, we didn't pray for him. I got the church to pray for him. And there was a huge outpouring of love for Leroy, just all over the place, people just standing up, and praying for him and expressing Leroy, expressing a heart of love for him. And at the end of that, interestingly, this lady, who's Glenda Tyson, who's one of the founding families in the church, her husband has now died, came up to me and she said, you know, that was God. She said, we've been trying for months to try and honour Leroy, and we couldn't do it. It wasn't any way he would make it happen or facilitate it. And now we've been able to do it. And it's like God sent us there, all the way from England, because they wanted to express not just our heart of love for Leroy, but for the church to do it. And he wasn't able to see it. And God was able to took us there to facilitate that. And if we'd just gone and done that, it would have been worth going. So we're really grateful to God for his blessing. We're grateful for our health. Sue's back was absolutely miraculously good. My knee wasn't a problem. That was a big issue for us getting there. And we just saw God really just provide for us in every way. So thank you for sending us, and thank you for your prayers.